Previously on the last Pokémon Crystal challenge run. Now I might be making a complete arse of myself at the moment, who knows, and coming up. I'm really enjoying beating up Lickitung at the moment as well, it's become a bit of a hobby of mine. This time last month we ran Wheezing, so it only seems fair to run MUK in the exact same slot this month. MUK's got a lot to live up for. Wheezing had a very good challenge all things considered, but I reckon we'll do very well for ourselves. We've got a brilliant learn set here in the 4 moves challenge for MUK, and our first decision point is going to be what exactly we're going to do with our 4 moves. Now, I've thought long and hard about this one, and ahed an awful lot, changed my mind about 15 times, but I think I have now come up with a learn set that we are going to run with our MUK. We're going to start off with one of the Gen 1 TMs in the form of Body Slam. Body Slam will negate some of our lower speed because it has that chance to paralyze. In slot number 2, it stands to reason we're going to go for Sludge Bomb. If we can ever find it in this list, goodness me, there it is. Sludge Bomb's going to be our main stab move. In fact, our only stab move throughout the course of this challenge. Moving on to the other 2 slots, we're going to go for Flamethrower in slot number 3. Now, that is running off our weaker special attack. However, it's directly targeting Jasmine. And then, once again, we're going to go for a targeted special move in slot number 4, because we're going to go for Ice Punch. Ice Punch is directly targeting Lance in this particular challenge, and while it's not going to be that great, because we've only got 65 in our special attack, Lance's Thunder Waving Dragonite are, of course, quad weak to Ice Punch, so we can hopefully not get paralysed there. So, let's now take a look at our Pokemon. We are running Sludge Bomb, Flamethrower, Ice Punch and Body Slam as our 4 moves. They will not change for the entirety of this challenge. We're holding a berry at level 5, we've got 27 HP, 17 in attack, 14 in defense, 13 in special attack, 16 in special defense, and 11 in speed. So we have our moves, we have our Pokemon, let's get this challenge underway. Let's see just how well MUK can do in Generation 2's 4 moves challenge. MUK had a very good run the last time we did it. It was a very, very long time ago now though. So I am expecting a major improvement in our final finishing time. I don't think we're quite going to hit the dizzying heights of Scyther or Alakazam in this challenge, but I reckon at least sub 120 is on the cards. Let's be very conservative with our estimate there. Let's not try shooting for the moon because we might end up falling back down to earth with an awful thud. Once again, we're a physical attacker with relatively low speed, so that does mean the red fight is going to come down to luck. We've got an awful long way to go though until we can even think about red. One good thing about the red fight though is we've got a lot of special defense behind us, so we're not going to have to worry too much about moves hitting that hard compared to some other Pokemon we run. 100 in special defense against the final boss, who is primarily a special attacker, is going to get the work done. But we mustn't focus on that at the moment. We've got a long way to go. And we're going to start off by heading towards Violet City. We got very lucky with the encounters on the way up there. I'm not sure we'll get quite so lucky on our second trip through 29 and 30. We'll have to see. We got double encounterless 29. That is not bad at all. But then we get caught by a bloomin' Hoppip as soon as we get on to Route 30. To be fair, we do need some experience points. We are sorely lacking. And we need to be probably about level 7, level 8, I think, for Falkner. That will see us just fit and fine. It does, of course, depend on who we encounter en route. I do want to try and preserve as many Sludge Bomb as possible for the Falkner fights, although we do have Ice Punch to fall back on as well. They're probably going to be much of a muchness at this point in the challenge. We'll use a Flamethrower against this Hoppip because it is going to be super effective and a one-shot. 6 Sludge Bomb PP, that should be more than enough to get us into gym number 1. This is Falkner's flying type gym. We are going to use Sludge Bomb here. Chance of poison because there's absolutely not a cat in hell's chance that Ice Punch would be a one-shot on that Spearow. We'll use Sludge Bomb here as well against the Pidgey. That Pidgey had a right old nightmare of it, didn't it? And we'll use Ice Punch on the second Pidgey. Getting through 25 HP, that should be more than enough for Falkner. He is Gym Leader number 1, Flying type Specialist, leads with Pidgey. Pidgey goes down in 1, we grow up to level 9, and we'll do the exact same strategy against the Pidgeotto. Preserving our berry just about there, and we do get the Zephyr badge in 2 minutes and 59 seconds. Always nice to start off with a good sub 3 minute Falkner split, and it's happening more and more often these days. I'm being a little bit more picky and choosy about starting the challenges. If we get huge numbers of encounters, it's only like a couple of minutes to restart, so I don't mind doing that for some challenges. As soon as we're at Falkner though, that's it, I've committed to this particular challenge, and sometimes just like that, it ends up biting you in the old derriere. I do want to pick up that super potion. I've a feeling we might be healing a fair amount in this particular challenge. That's 2 challenges in a row I've been caught by bloody Gordon. Fortunately, he can't do much against us, and we can use him as an opportunity to grow up to level 10. Let's get straight into the Union Cave now. We'll stick on our repel. And I don't think we want to take on the Onyx today, but we will take on the 3 Geodude here. These have a really pathetic special defense, so we can just use Ice Punch against all of them. We probably could have taken on the Onyx as well, but I think it's a little bit surplus to requirements. Getting up to 11 courtesy of Russell. We will avoid the Coughing Trainer today, however, I do think it's worth taking on Fire Breather Ray with his Vulpix, because we can outspeed and we can easily, comfortably one-shot with Sludge Bomb. No thank you to Anthony today. We'll grab the full heal from behind the well, and we are in Azalea Town. Here in Azalea, we'll buy a bunch of repels, get 1 more for good luck, and we'll just buy a couple of super potions. Into Kurt's house we go, where he's telling us that Team Rocket are up to shenanigans, so we better go and investigate. Oh no, he's hurt his back. Whatever shall we do? We'll have to take on the Rockets ourselves. We'll use Body Slam and Sludge Bomb in tandem here in the Rocket section. And one of the most annoying Pokemon to come up against in a Gen 2 challenge run is early game Rattata and then mid game Raticate, because they all have bloody quick attack. So you can artificially get slowed down. Didn't mean to use Ice Punch against that Ekans. You can get artificially slowed down by those Pokemon just because they've got a blooming priority move. At least with Bruno's Hitmonchan, we kind of come to expect it with his Muck Punch. We'll get rid of this coughing in 3 hits here, and we are through the Rockets. Get a lovely heal courtesy of Kurt there, and now we'll go into our second gym together. This is Bugsy's Bug-type gym. We don't have anything too great for the bugs, unfortunately, so we'll just use Sludge Bomb against the Spinarak, and we've been confused by bloody Ledibur. Confusion is so piggin' annoying when it hits you. That just shows how low our special attack is at the moment. We're definitely going to have to invest in some Carbos throughout the course of this challenge. I must also remember our slot 4 move today is fairly viable in the form of Body Slam. Like, Body Slam can do an awful lot of work against a lot of these poison-type Pokemon. We're never going to be able to one-shot this Speedrill, though, so we'll just have to paralyze it instead. I am going to take on Josh today. We've got Flamethrower, it's quad weak, we can set fire to it and we'll all be happy. Josh will now evacuate the building with his ignited Paris, and while he does that, we'll take on Falkner. He is our second gym leader together today. Bugsy, not Falkner, Bug-type Specialist led with Metapod. Went down in 1. We'll ignite the Kakuna as well, and then we shall set fire to the Beedrill. 2 hits from Fury Cutter is all it takes for us to hit back twice with Flamethrower, and we get the Hive badge in 7 minutes and 13 seconds. Plenty of offensive PP as well now, so we'll go straight in to rival number 2. This time he's going to lead with Ghastly. We'll use Flamethrower, we crit, and we knock it out in a 1. Ice Punch time for the Zubat, another 1 shot. On the Croconaw, we'll use Sludge Bomb. It's going to be a 2-shot. Water Gun crits and still barely does nothing at all. And we get through him very, very easily. Time of 7 minutes and 41 seconds. That means we are into the Ilex Forest. Let us start making our way through here. We've got to reunite the bird with its human, and then we need to also remember to pick up our 2 ethers in here as well. So there is the charcoal maker. He gives us a scythe, and he also gives us a cut HM. Not that we can use the cut HM. We'll stick on another repel here. We'll give a wave to the green-haired man staring at the tree. We won't interrupt his tree staring. Instead, we will bring the 2 ethers into our bag. That's a really awkward way to phrase picking up, isn't it? But yes, we'll bring the 2 ethers into the bag, and then we shall have a little bit fun by taking on Gina. She leads with Hoppip. She's also got a Bulbasaur for no good reason, and her second Pokemon is also a Hoppip. 3 one-shots gets rid of her, and we are now in Goldenrod. First thing we'll do is a quick PP heal because Sludge Bomb was getting low. Second thing we do is pick up the old bicycle. We're going to be cycling here, there, and everywhere. Our legs are going to be so tired at the end of this, but it will be absolutely worth it. That's 2 challenges in a row where I have accidentally got on the bike instead of registering it. We do need to take on some trainers here in the underground. We've got to remember that while Psychic is super effective against us, Psychic does not resist the Poison type. That's one of those type matchups. Still, after 30 years of Pokemon, it doesn't stick in my brain. For some reason, I just assume that's because one way is super effective against us, the other way has to be not very effective against them. We'll take full advantage of Sludge Bomb against a lot of Psychic-type Pokemon in this challenge. I'm really enjoying beating up Lickitung at the moment as well. It's become a bit of a hobby of mine. So we'll do that again here before getting ourselves out. Now we must not forget the Rentalabra that lives here in the game corner. Need that so that we can teleport back to Pokemon Centers and save an awful lot of overworld movement. And with that, we'll make our first trip up north. We are going to take on Kim, we'll take on the camper whose name I never ever remember, and we'll probably take on Mr. Bumhead Fireduck Man as well. Ivan, I think every single challenge where I go to reference your name beforehand, I completely blank on it. No idea why, it's not exactly an uncommon name, but we do get through Ivan very easily there. On to Fire Breather Waltz with his Bumhead Fireducks. We'll body slam the first one, knock it out in one, and we'll do the same against Bumhead Fireduck number 2. Now we must avoid Juggler Irwin at all costs. He's a horrible battle. We will, however, pick up the Quick Claw from the Teacher Lady. And now today, do we want to take on either of these? I think we do. Mark should be fairly simple. We can use Body Slam against his Abra. We can use Body Slam against the second one, and then hopefully another Body Slam against the third. Confusion doesn't confuse us. And we have a lot of moves that are very good against the Grass type. We'll just use Sludge Bomb, we'll knock out the Tangler in one, and that is Alan defeated. Chat with Floria, she goes back to Goldenrod, will follow suit, yet somehow she will get there before us, even though we are teleporting through thin air. Quick heal in the Pokemon Center, and away we go into gym number 3. This is Whitney's normal type gym. She has one mandatory trainer in the form of Lascarry with her Schnappababababble. Oh, it's gone. Never mind. On to Whitney. Third gym leader, normal type specialist, leads with Clefairy. Sludge Bomb, do your thing. 1 shot on the Clefairy, 2 shot on the cow probably. She's locked into rollout. It's all done, barring the singing. I don't have a voice, so I'm not going to sing. And we do obtain the playing badge in 11 minutes and 59 seconds. Actually, it's come up as 12 minutes. Either or, though, still a very, very good Whitney split. Let's chat with her and then chat with the eavesdropping so-and-so. We will use the Rentalabra to get ourselves back to the Pokemon Center because we're going to do a very quick heal. And now it's time to make our way towards Olivine City. We are going to be going via Ecruteak, as we always do. But there ain't much that we want to do in Ecruteak at the moment. It is going to be much, much, much more efficient for us to go straight through into Olivine. We can climb the lighthouse for some levels. We'll do Kimono Girls before Rival 3 and Morty. It will be a very good time of it overall, hopefully. Now, my movement has been absolutely shocking so far in this one. Hoping that that will improve. Still not feeling 100%. It's about 4 or 5 hours since the last video was recorded. Had some food. Had a bit of a rest. Still not feeling at fine fettle. But I really wanted to play MUK. Really wanted to do a much better run than the one we got last time. And when I get the desire to play, just got to click the buttons and keep on persevering. Oh, is that a range against that Slowpoke, I wonder? Quite possibly. We've poisoned the second one. Not enough to knock it out in one shot, though. Thank goodness we have the heal coming up here in Olivine City. We are going to take on both Derek and Ruth today. Their Pikachu are just easy experience. So it would be senseless not to take them on. Very easy battles. And you know what? We'll do the Sailor as well. We really are about building the experience points at the moment on our first trip down. We need to be a fairly high level in order to have a pretty smooth Morty fight. So we're going to take a little bit of a time loss now by battling some extra traders to hopefully then save a bit of an RNG shuffle at good old Morty. Let's get ourselves some super repels. We'll get 12. That should be enough to see us going for now. We'll chat with the burly man and get his phone number as we always do. And we'll do our first Olivine Pokemon Center heal, getting ourselves back up to full HP and full PP. And it's time to start climbing the lighthouse. We didn't quite get enough legwork in on the bike, so we're going to have to go up a lot of stairs as well. Do we one-shot the Noctowl? No, we don't. We'll finish it off with a body slam there. I am a little bit concerned that we're not quite getting the one-shots that I'd want, but I suppose Sludge Bomb is only 90 base power, as opposed to a lot of types having a 100 base power very strong move. But at least we got 10 PP. That's a lot more than we got in our last run for our stab move, so we cannot complain too much. We'll take on the extra couple of sailors while we're going up. Terrell here should be a one-shot with Sludge Bomb on his Poliwhirl. And then we'll take on, is this Eugene? I want to call him Eugene. Ernest, I knew it began with E. Close enough for government work. He should also be a set of one-shots, and we'll get ourselves up to level 26 against him. Grab the Super Repel, then we'll chat with Jazz. She's going to complain about Amphi being sick, as she always is. I'm sick as well, but you don't see me climbing a lighthouse and lamenting the woes of the world with a Pokemon next to me. Maybe I'm the weird one here, though. Let us do another quick PP heal, and we'll start making our way back towards Ecruteak City. You can tell that we're on true 4x speed now, because my movement is absolutely diabolical. I'll take on Toby. He should be a fairly easy battle. Plus, he'll give us some much needed physical attack stat experience. 3 one-shots on his Dojo, not really caring so much about the base experience points, more caring about our stat experience there. Into the Kimono Girls we go. One shot on Flareon, very good start. We'll take on Vaporeon next. That should be another easy victory. And then hopefully we've got just enough speed to outspeed the Jolteon. Just in case, we will hold on to the Quickie C. That might give us an extra chance to outspeed the Jolteon. We shall see. No, we don't, but Sand Attack fails. Absolutely wonderful. We'll do Scumbreon next. We'll finish off with the Peskeon. How much do we do? Oh, that was almost a one-shot, and we knock it out with Poison. That is one of the good things about Sludge Bomb. We can save turns just by virtue of poisoning the opponent. There we go, Kimono Girl's done. We'll get the Raft, and we'll also get the Surf HM. And now it will be time to go in to the Burnt Tower, where we are going to take on the rival for his third and middle battle already. Stick on another Repel, and we'll make our way round. This is Rival 3, and he's going to lead with his Ghastly. It's a Haunter at this point, isn't it? Swears at us, gets itself knocked out, will set fire to the Magnemite as well, and we are on to the Zubat. We'll use Ice Punch, guarantee the one-shot. Now it's going to be a range here against Croconaw. We don't quite one-shot it, but Bite is special, so it does next to nothing. So that was a really easy Rival 3. Let's fall through the floor now, and we can release those beasts. We're going to completely blank Hussein. We'll be a bit antisocial against him here. Instead, we will break the rock, we'll get the HP up, and we shall now leave. And I've got a bunch of boring ghosts to take on. Let's skip to Morty. That's all the gym trainers taken care of and the prep work done for Morty. Let's now take him on. He is gym leader number 4 of 16. Ghost type specialist, leads with Ghastly. Flamethrower on the first Ghastly, knocks it out in 1. We crit the first horn, so that is absolutely blooming fantastic. Now this Gengar could prove to be a bit of a thorn in our side, but we can crit it, never mind. We have probably won this battle fairly easily now. Although that was a little bit mean, spiting our flamethrower there. I just spent an ether on that move, you absolute horrible person. But we do get through in 1952. We get the Pike Shop call as well to throw my already bad movement even more out of kilter. Let us start heading towards the Lake of Rage. We'll pick up the Super Potion. We will then go down and avoid those trainers there. We'll fit through this little gap here. And we shall then use a Super Repel. We'll get those up to the top of the bag now. I do want to pick up the extra Bitterberry. I think that could come in handy today. And it's not too much of a time loss to go and pick that up. We will go and take on the Gyarados now. And then we'll pick and choose which trainers we take on our way back down. Still hunting for the ever-elusive blue Gyarados here. We've got another red one today, growing up to 32, and we do get the red scale. Chat with Lance, he's going to sell us a cock and bull story about something we don't really care. I think we'll take on this trainer first and foremost, good old Ron with his Nidoking. And then we'll have a think about who to take on later on as well. I might come back to this route after defeating the Rockets just to get the max ether, because we are very low on the old healing items for our PP now, because I expended 2 in the gym there at Morty. We'll pick up the rare candy, we'll rent Elaborate all the way back to Olivine, and thank goodness for that, we get to do a heal in a Pokemon Center. Right, Repel's worn off. We're going to have to use another one here as we start crossing the open seas towards Ecruteak, Cianwood. They've got the same music, but they're very different places. One is about as inland as you could get, and the other's here on the lovely Jotonian coast. Let us get the secret potion from the man in the dodgy shop, and now we'll go in to our next gym together. This is the fighting type gym, so we are going to resist. We don't deal super effective damage against them, but we do resist fighting type moves, which is going to be absolutely blooming glorious. It's even more glorious when you're able to one-shot Hitmonchan like that. By the way, I am aware that we could have had the Poison Barb by now, but I do think it's going to be much more efficient to be holding on to the Quick Claw for most of the challenge. Next time we menu, I will likely stick the Quick Claw back on. Just so happens I forgot to do it after we expended our Minceberry at the Morty battle, but it won't make too much of a difference here, I don't think. Let's get through Lung now, and we'll take on Chuck. Chuck is our 5th gym leader together today, fighting type specialist, leads with Primeape. We'll use Sludge Bomb turn 1 and one-shot the Primeape, and then we'll go on to the Poliwrath. He's using Surf. We swap to Body Slam, and we get through very easily. Didn't need to worry about any shenanigans there. He was always going to go for Surf, because we do resist the fighting type. We'll get ourselves the Air Balloon, and I am going to double check very quickly that we did get the secret potion. With that, we'll stick the Air Balloon in a tippy top spot, and we shall ascend the lighthouse for a second time. Gonna heal just in case we accidentally encounter anyone on our way up there. And we can already think about taking on good old Jasmine. I don't think she's going to be too much of a threat today, to be fair. Even though Steel is immune to poison, we've got Flamethrower on the learn set. It's going to do an awful lot of damage against her. I doubt we're going to one-shot Steelix, but I still think we'll do very, very well. Let's get out of here and let's get in to her gym. And we'll see what we can do. This is Jasmine. She is gym leader number 6. Steel-type specialist, leads with Magnemite. One shot on the Magnemite, not getting paralysed in this particular battle. One shot on the other Magnemite, and then probably going to do about half, little over half against the Steelix, and that's all she can do. She can hit Iron Tail as much as she wants, she can defense drop as much as she wants, but she ain't getting anywhere. 24-16 for the mineral badge. Is it just me, by the way, thinking of that defense drop there? When I was a kid, and very new to Pokemon, when my defense got dropped in a battle, I thought that was permanent. So I then went and tried leveling up and using vitamins as much as I could to counteract the fact that our defense had seemingly permanently been lowered. Obviously now I know that's not a thing and it's just for that battle, but it isn't actually made that clear anywhere within the game in Gen 2, as far as I know. Maybe I just needed to have a little look around that school that nobody goes to in the Gen 2 games. Like, they've got a whole Pokemon Academy, and I don't think I've ever met a single person who has spent more than about 10 seconds in there when they realised there's absolutely nothing at all in terms of items to pick up in that academy. Talking of items being picked up, we've now completed the housekeeping, so we'll meet back up at the end of the Rockets. There we go, we've made it through the Rockets in a Mahogany for yet another challenge. We get the bath plug off last, that's going to let us cross the single whirlpool that we need it for later on in this challenge. Let's get the heck out of here and let's get ourselves in to our next gym. We're going in to Pryce's Ice-type gym next. Not expecting too many problems at all here. This is Pryce, he is gym leader number 7, an Ice-type specialist who's going to lead with a Seal. We'll use Sludge Bomb against the Seal, we'll knock it out in one. Up next is the Dugong. We don't quite one-shot, but thank goodness Aurora Beam for once doesn't drop our attack. Onto the Pile of Swine we go. 2 shots with Body Slam is enough to knock it out, and we obtain the Glacier badge in 29:41. That is a really good time considering we are running a very slow physical attacker where half the moves are special attacks. Let us grab this Max Repel and we'll start making our way through the ice path. I do want to pick up this elixir en route. That's going to be very useful, and we can grab an Ultra Ball there for a bit of good luck. Into the ice path we go. We don't need too many bits and bobs from here today, but we will actually need the Nevermelt Ice. I think that might make the difference later on in the game. We'll have to see. We can do a little bit of fishing and testing with using Ice Punch on a certain other Pokemon, but there's no real harm in getting the Nevermelt Ice. Not got good enough movement in this challenge to do that on the bike, and then we fall through that hole. We don't want to fall through there, we want to fall through the other way. Get the other full heal, you never know when you're going to be statused. And now we can get back on the bike. Nevermelt Ice time, then what else should we pick up? Oh, my movement is absolutely diabolical today. I don't know what's wrong with me. Well, I do know what's wrong with me. My timings are ever so slightly different because I'm playing on true 4x speed now. So I've got to relearn a lot of the old muscle memory. We'll pick up the other items here, and then we'll air balloon in to Blackthorn proper. In here we will grab ourselves as many Max Repels as we need. 12 shall see us fit for the rest of this challenge, and we'll use the end of this repel to get this elixir. We'll go down here. We avoided the trainer for once. Sometimes miracles do happen. We'll get off the bike for this movement, and then we'll just stay off the bike to grab the PP up, and I do want to get the extra Persecure Berry. It's only a few seconds to get that extra Persecure Berry, and you never know when you might need one. I'm now going to PP up Sludge Bomb all the way up to maximum PP. I'll stick the iron in, I'll stick these protein in, and it'll be time to head back to Goldenrod. And now with roughly half of the Rockets taken care of, we can go back into the underground, where we will take on the 4th and penultimate rival battle. This time he is going to lead with his Golbat. We shall use an Ice Punch and hope for the best. The best happens, we knock it out in one. Swap to Flamethrower for the Magnemite there. Now against this Haunter, we're not going to one-shot it, but he goes for Shadow Ball instead of Curse. That's what we like to see. The Sneasler screamed bloody murder at us, but I think it is now pretty much all over, barring the singing for the rival. There we go, nice and easy rival battle, taking only minuscule bits of damage. The good thing about beating the rival is we've only got to do it one more time. The bad thing is it means we've got to get on with the rest of these rockets. I will do that now, and we'll skip ahead to the very top of the radio tower. We have just one more rocket left to go now here at the top of the radio tower. This is the final executive. He leads with Houndour. We'll Sludge Bomb that away. Coughing's next. Ice Punch will make light work of that. And then we finish off the Houndoom with a Sludge Bomb as well. Very, very easy stuff, and Team Rocket is defeated once and for all for yet another challenge. We get ourselves the Clear Bell, no idea what it does, not really too bothered to find out. We will procure the pink bow from Marie though. That'll be useful maybe in a certain place, who knows. While we're here, we do need to do double 1, 2, 1 and 2 to get our hands on the radio card. That will let us get past the Snorlax in Kanto, and with that we'll fly over to Blackthorn. Not going to Pokécenter Heal, going to risk it for a biscuit a little bit as we make our way into our final Jotonian gym. This is Clair's Dragon-type gym. We'll see how we get on here. We're probably going to have to do a couple of litmus tests against a couple of trainers, see how well or badly our moves are performing. In fact, I'm going to use an Ether while I remember on Sludge Bomb. This Seadra is going to be a good test of how much damage we can do against Clair's Dragonair. Oh, I reckon, you know, we could potentially one-shot with Sludge Bomb. That makes me feel pretty good about the prospects for the Clair battle. If we can one-shot that thing with Sludge Bomb, then we don't need to worry about a Persecure Berry, which will then mean we'll have a much, much better Clair fight overall. Yet we one-shot the 36 Seadra. That is a very good sign. We'll try against Mike's Dragonair here. How much does it do? It's a one-shot. Brilliant. We don't even need to think about Ice Punch there, because that will save a little bit of the old text boxes if we go for Sludge Bomb instead, of course. Every text box we save adds up throughout the course of the challenge. But with Lola defeated, let's take on Clair herself. She is the Dragon-type leader of Blackthorn Gym, leads with Dragonair. Dragonair goes down in 1 with Sludge Bomb. We kind of predicted that through the battles we have just done. So we are on to her Kingdra. Let's think Ice Punch to begin with, and then Sludge Bomb should mean she avoids a healing loop. And we do get through. We didn't even get paralysed there by Dragon Breath. So that went about as well as we could have hoped. That does mean we've got to now leave the gym, get ourselves into the Dragon's Den, where we are going to take on this horrible, horrible, nasty, tiny little man, horrible piece of work as Darren. We will take great pleasure in knocking out his Dragonair though. We'll pick up this Max Elixir here. We'll then go through this whirlpool, and we can enter into the Dragon Shrine. We get our second questionnaire in as many minutes, or at least that's how it feels. We'll do double 1, 2, 1 and 2 again, and that triggers Clair to come in to the shrine herself. She is going to be very shocked that we know how to answer this survey, and we obtain the Rising Badge in 41 minutes and 30 seconds. The days where I was happy with sub-hour Clair are feeling very, very distant nowadays. Not going to complain though, consistently improving my times is something I've aimed for a very long time. With that, we can start making our way towards the Pokemon League. Let us enter into the Tojo Falls, go across this waterfall, and today we're actually going to, by choice, take on this cool trainer, because we've got our choice of moves here to knock out her Pokemon, and that Venusaur's very, very bulky, so it might end up being worth knocking it out just like that. We'll avoid certain trainers that we often take on, I think, today. Let's think, who shall we do? We'll do this Psychic, we'll avoid the cool trainer, Rena. I don't think Rena's a good idea. Although actually, we one-shot this Starmie with Sludge Bomb. How much do we do against Girafarig? Maybe just maybe we can take on Rena. You know what? You only live once. She's good experience. Might make the difference in the league. Could regret this, though. It's not a one-shot on this Starmie. We can use Ice Punch against the Nidoqueen. That was a one-shot. And now we should definitely one-shot with Body Slam on this second Starmie. Could have been worth it. Who knows? Anyway, we'll keep progressing upwards. We won't take on Richard today. I think that's his name. With the Espeon. Oh, Joyce, get in the bin. We've been so good avoiding Joyce lately. But today she tried to catch us. But we have the ability to travel through time. So we don't really get too bothered about those spinners who catch us. Of course, it was always going to be a one-shot on Big Beth's Rapidash. And now we'll align ourselves here, get back on the bike, and we'll enter into Victory Road. We do need to stick on a Super Repel in here. And we also must pick up the extra HP up. Once again, I sold the first one for some vitamins. With that in the bag, it's time for one last rival battle. This time he is going to lead with his Sneasel Pleasel. We'll use a Sludge Bomb against it, we'll knock it out in one. We'll continue Sludge Bombing against Kadabra because he picked one of those up from goodness knows where. We don't one-shot the Golbat. I reckon we are getting very unlucky with ranges at the moment. This will be a one-shot with Flamethrower. Here comes the Haunter. And we high roll that, I think. Let us swap Sludge Bomb for the Feraligatr. We've poisoned it, but we don't quite one-shot it. But that does mean we are through the final rival battle in 44.5 minutes. We'll do a very quick heal here. We will then buy some full restores. I was going to say buy some PP ups. It would be absolutely glorious if we could buy some PP ups, but we can't. And now we will park ourselves in front of the league. We'll take a look at our stats and we shall make some predictions. We are level 50 with 193 HP, holding the Quick Claw with Sludge Bomb, Ice Punch, Flamethrower and Body Slam. 143 in attack, 111 in defense, 106 in special attack, 141 special defense, just 87 in speed. Don't forget though, these are just the out of battle stats. We will get a big buff in battle in a moment against Will. He will be our first league member. Now, as for this league, I think we're going to have a fairly smooth affair this time. Potentially some trouble at Will, because he will have the type advantage against us, and I don't think we can one-shot his Slowbro. But I think the rest of the league should be fine. We're going to be neutral against Koga, but we've got coverage for a lot of his Pokemon. We resist Bruno. Karen is, as always, a bit of a question mark, but we can brute force her with Sludge Bomb. We've got Ice Punch for a lot of Lance's Pokemon, so I'm hoping we'll have a fairly good time. There's one way to find out, and that's to get ourselves into the league. He is our first league member, this as well. He is a Psychic type specialist, leads with Xatu. First Xatu goes down in one. Outspeed the Jinx, knock her out in one. Here comes Slowbro. He goes for Curse, but it's not enough. We two-shot it. Xatu number 2 comes out. We get the one-shot. The last Pokemon is Executor. We have a super effective Sludge Bomb. We completely annihilate Will. 45-15. Up second is Koga. Poison type specialist going to lead with Ariados. The good thing about Koga also having a penchant for the bug types is we can set fire to all of them. One shot on Ariados, one shot on Venomoth, and we can also set fire to the fortress as well. We've got the Spider-Man meme here because it's MUK versus MUK, except we have Body Slam, and that makes this a very easy matchup. We're going to use a Flamethrower, trying to avoid a healing loop, but we crit. It's fine though, double Flamethrower knocks out, and we can move on to Bruno. Time, by the way, of 45 minutes and some seconds. It's covered by Bruno's leg for Koga there. One shot on Hitmontop, brilliant start. Ice Punch on the Onix, even better. Who's next? Hitmonlee, Sludge Bomb to the face, get out of here. We have Hitmonchan, Sludge Bomb does a lot of work. Last Pokemon is Machamp, it's going to be 2 shots with Sludge Bomb. We've poisoned it, Cross Chop does nothing. He is healing looping, and we crit to finish him off. That was a brilliant Bruno battle, 46-28. Now, for Karen, we are going to use our full restore to get us started. Then we are going to use our 5 rare candies. Get ourselves as high as we can for Karen. Swap to the bitter berry, use the HP up, and hope for the best. This is Karen, she's our final league member. Dark type specialist, leads with Umbreon. Confuse Ray, perfect, that's what we want. Through the Umbreon. On to the Vileplume we go. Flamethrower, one shot, not getting paralysed. Continue flamethrowing against the Gengar, it knocks itself out. We've got Murkrow, we'll use an Ice Punch, guarantee the one shot. The last Pokemon is Houndoom. We use Sludge Bomb, it goes away. We first try Karen, that was brilliant. Let us now use an Elixir. We are going to hold on to... Oh, we've got a Calcium there, can't use it though. Going to hold back on to the Quick Claw. And we will engage Lance the Liar with a Flyer in battle. He is our final obstacle between us and the Hall of Fame. He leads with Gyarados. Don't quite one-shot the Gyarados, but we get a lovely 2-shot, growing up to 59. Let's use Ice Punch against the 47 Dragonites. And yes, it is a one-shot. No real risk of those not being one-shots. On to the Aerodactyl we go. He doesn't get an Omni Boost with Ancient Power. He goes for Hyper Beam. We have oodles of defense, so we can tank anything that comes our way. We don't get burnt by Flamethrower. It is now officially all over for Lance. We grow to level 60 and we defeat Lance in 48 minutes and 22 seconds. That is a phenomenal time considering we are running a MUK. Let us get our final Hall of Fame time for this challenge. We're clocking in at 48 minutes and 37 seconds. And with that, we'll take a look at the midpoint leaderboards. And on our 4 moves leaderboard, we've knocked Machamp off the podium by 2 seconds. We are in 3rd place. I really thought Machamp would be quicker at this point. That does push Marowak into the page 1 drop zone, and we now have a new leader on page 1 with Octillery. Poor Sunflora is still down there in 23rd place. If we take a look at the overall midpoint leaderboard, it's deja vu from the last one. We're in 5th place again. Exactly the same finishing point for our Hall of Fame time for our MUK. That does push Tauros down onto the top of page 1, and it does mean we have saved a heck of a lot of time against our original MUK challenge. I do just want to say it did turn out we were missing some challenges on the midpoint leaderboard, so I have now added those in. All of those Just the Battles from 2022 were somehow missing from this leaderboard, so if it looks a little bit more fleshed out, that is why. If we look out for MUK on our leaderboard here at the midpoint as well, you can see we have saved an awful lot of time and a great number of positions. We're on the last page, 125.20 through the league last time compared to 48.22 this time. So we're on excellent pace so far, but this is only half the story. We've got another 8 gym badges plus a red fight left to come, so don't you dare go anywhere. Kanto is next. And now we are rejoining the action as we always do here in Vermilion City, where the first thing we'll do is grab the rare candy from the chairman of the Pokemon fan club. And with that safely tucked away in our bag for another challenge, we can start to get on with our Cantonian gauntlet of gym leaders. We're starting here in Vermilion City with Lieutenant Surge. We don't quite have enough speed to outspeed his Electrode though, which is a little bit frustrating, so hopefully we'll get the RNG we need against those Electrode. We need 1, 2, 3 in speed to speed tie, 1, 2, 4 or above to outspeed. We're off to a very good start though, one-shotting his Electabuzz and his Raichu. We hit through the first double team on the first Electrode. We'll swap to Flamethrower for the Magneton, guarantee the one-shot there. And then we will use Sludge Bomb and get the Quick Claw proc on Electrode number 2. Thunder Badge acquired in a time of 51 minutes and 7 seconds. Let's now get ourselves into Saffron City. Now we have the type disadvantage to Sabrina, but we also have a lot of physical attack, and she's not that bulky, is Sabrina, and neither are her Pokemon, so let's take them on. Sabrina's gym leader number 2, she is a Psychic type specialist, leads with Peskeon. We outspeed the Peskeon, we knock it out in 1. Mr. Mime will go down in the same way, and then we can probably afford to use a Body Slam against the Alakazam. Surprised we didn't outspeed that, but that's absolutely fine. We can take a little bit of damage. Marsh Badge in 51-47. Let us teleport back to the Pokemon Center here in Saffron City, and we'll make our way now over towards Celadon. Here in Celadon, I reckon we are good to pick up the leftovers, and we'll also pick up the extra PP up. Not sure which move we'll use that PP up on, probably Ice Punch, but we shall have to see. Into gym number 3 we go. We will one-shot this Victory Bell to get us started, and we'll use Sludge Bomb mostly against those non-weak to poison Pokemon. There's nothing we can do really about getting super effective hits on Pokemon where Sludge Bomb is super effective just like that against the Executor there. We do kind of want to use a lot of our Sludge Bombs as well though, because we're not going to be able to use them in the next gym battle. We've got Janine after we have taken on Erica, and of course she's a poison type specialist. We are through all of the gym trainers now though. Let's take on Erica. She is leader number 3 here in Kanto. She's a grass type specialist led with Tangela that went down in 1. Up next is going to be Victory Bell. We'll swap to Ice Punch for the Victory Bell. We'll guarantee the KO there. She sends out Blossom next. We've got Sludge Bomb. That is a one-shot. And her last Pokemon is Jumpluff. Stick Body Slam in slot 1. Get rid of the Jumpluff to get the Rainbow Badge in 53-17. We also get ourselves TM19. That means absolutely nothing in these runs, but if we were running a regular challenge, I would definitely be teaching Giga Drain to our MUK. I was considering it actually earlier, but I couldn't justify it because it's only got 5 PP, so it wouldn't really help that much. We've got to get through Janine's pseudo-mandatory trainer there with Birdkeeper Bob, and we'll now enter into her gym. She is our 4th Cantonian leader. She's a poison type specialist, leads with Crobat. Crobat goes down in 1, as does Venomoth, and we have her bulky-ish Weezings next. We'll use Flamethrower on the 1st, we'll use Flamethrower on the 2nd. They both go down in 1, and we'll swap back to Body Slam for the Ariados. Very, very simple Janine battle there. Soul Badge in 54-14. Let's leave, let's get ourselves back to Saffron City, courtesy of the Rentalabra. The reason we dip in is so that we don't have to fanny about with the fly menu. That fly menu is very, very frustrating. Now we have to get past this awful, awful spinner. I cannot stand him. I wish I could disable that one spinner. He is the absolute worst. We will have to get our revenge on this Machamp. Now I'm going to get myself through Rock Tunnel. We'll meet on the other side. That rock tunnel wasn't the best, wasn't the worst, somewhere in the middle, but we made it through. Quite a few rappel steps did get wasted there, but we did get through, and we can now chat to the manager of the power plant so that we can trigger the oh-so-small, tiny storyline that we've got here in Kanto. We need to get ourselves back to Saffron City. We'll cycle up north, and we'll enter into Cerulean. Air Balloon again to save the movement. Dip in and out of the gym so that this rocket will accidentally drop his machine part in the water. Not quite sure how the manager of the power plant is going to deal with the machine part once it's been dipped in water, but that's not our problem. If he can get the power going for another 15 minutes or so, that's all we really care about. Now, in today's Nugget Bridge, I've been meaning to talk about this for a while, but there are certain items that I think are absolute bait in this game. One of them is the early pink bow. It gets suggested quite a lot, but I genuinely don't think it's needed. The only time it's convenient to get is after you defeat Chuck, because you need Fly in order to get back to Cherry Grove or New Bark fairly quickly. because otherwise you'll be walking across half of the region to get to that pink bow. And to be fair, between Chuck and talking to Marie after the rockets, 99.9% of Pokemon aren't going to need the pink bow. It's going to make no difference at all to any of the ranges. There are going to be certain Pokemon where it would be handy, but again, it's a very, very big time sink for something that isn't really that useful. And I think there are quite a few items like that. I'm even starting to feel that way about the regular pink bow and the Nevermelt Ice. The chances of them changing any important ranges into one-shots are very, very negligible, so I might end up omitting them from a lot of the challenges. Tell me what you think, though. Do you think we should start picking up fewer items? It's like the super potions in Azalea. Rarely use all of them, but force of habit makes me buy them nearly every challenge. Let's take on Misty now. She is our next gym leader. She is a water-type specialist. Leads with Golduck. We'll Sludge Bomb the Golduck, knock it out in one. We don't have anything great for the Quagsire, so we're going to fish for a freeze. Rain Dance, don't mind that. We've got oodles of special defense. We can Sludge Bomb the Lapras, knock it out in one. Starmie's last. If we one-shot Lapras, Starmie stands no chance at all. Misty goes down. Cascade Badge in 57-52. Grab the machine part, and now we shall Rentalabra our way back to the power plant via Route 10. Stick on a Max Repel in this corner here, and we can go and return the very, very wet machine parts. Hopefully he won't mind it being drenched in chlorine, but at least he knows there's going to be no bacteria on it. With that, we'll leave, and we'll never think about the power plant again for this challenge. Off to Lavender we go, where we'll chat with the director of this radio tower. He will give us an X-Men card, and that is exactly what we need in order to get through this pesky Snorlax, who is blocking our only way into the other half of Kanto. Let us run away from it, because we are not scared, but we don't have time to take it on. Let's get through the other side, let's bypass 3 Drill, and we find ourselves in Pewter City, where we have another gym to deal with. This is Brock's Rock-type gym. He's just got Camper Jerry there, standing in our way. He is, of course, standing in for Camper Liam. And now we'll take Brock on. He is a Rock-type specialist, leads with Graveler. We've got Ice Punch for the Graveler. We'll knock it out in one. Up next is going to be Rhyhorn. Once again, we can use Ice Punch, take care of it in one hit. We don't have anything fantastic for Omastar, but neither Omastar nor Kabutops really can do much to harm us. So we're just going to take a couple of extra turns in this particular battle. Surf might as well do nothing against us there, but that does mean we get the Boulder Badge in 59-34. Back on the bike we go, and let us now leave and make our way towards the south of Kanto. First place we'll go is Viridian City. While we are in the bag, we're going to stick on a Max Repel. We'll Air Balloon to Viridian, and we'll dip into the Pokemon Center so that we don't have to fly there again. Through Pallet Town, we'll come back later to chat with Oak, and we are now on Cinnabar. Little Rare Candy, we'll use that later for the red battle. Chat with Blue. He will be our gym leader after we have taken on Blaine, because we're about to head to the Seafoam Islands. Did some duff movement there. It's slightly slower to do the double surf, but we find ourselves in front of Blaine. He's a fire-type specialist who leads with Magcargo. The Magcargo swears that's about the best we could hope for there. Knock it out in 2. Bumhead Fired Up comes and goes away, and we shall also one-shot the Rapidash. Very good stuff there. Blaine is defeated. Volcano Badge acquired. Let us now use a full restore. We will also use one of our Max Elixirs, and we can rental Abra back to Viridian. Now, we could hold the leftovers for the blue battle. It would be slightly slower though. We'll risk it. If we get knocked out, we'll swap to lefties. This is Blue, final gym leader of the challenge, leads with Pidgeot. Sludge Bomb crits, knocks it out in a 1. Up next is Alakazam. We take Psychic, but we easily tank it. It goes down. We've got Rhydon. We'll use Ice Punch. Please one-shot just like that. Sludge Bomb for the Gyarados. Probably going to end up with a healing loop here. but we do not mind that much. We can deal with a healing loop. I'd rather he healed his Gyarados, because that is a fairly tame Pokemon for us. Arcanine's next. He uses Extreme Speed turn 1. We've poisoned it. He's out of full restores, and we shall one-shot Executor. Growing up to 67, a nice clean level there, and we obtain the Earth Badge in 101.51. That means we can now use another full restore. We'll use a Max Repel. We'll use an Elixir, and we'll fly over to Pallet. Let's have a little chat with Oak, see what he's got to say for himself. Probably going to bitch at us that we've only caught one Pokemon. Yep, just like that. We don't mind though. We have better things to be getting on with. And those better things are taking on Red. So we'll do the movement through here. We'll do our cheeky fly to the Pokemon Center at Silver Cave. Dip in and out. And then we'll pick up our final rare candy. I'll use this last rare candy. I'll then get myself through the first bit of Silver Cave. And we'll meet back up for Red. Nice easy movement through Silver Cave this time. Plenty of repel steps remaining. We are about to take on Red. Now I'm thinking the leftovers might be more useful. We'll take advantage of our bulk. This is Red, the final trainer of the challenge. He leads with Pikachu. We're going to have to do the Charm Dodge here, unfortunately. No two ways about it. Or we can avoid him with his thundery ways. How much do we do against this Peskeon? Oh, that does a lot of damage. Oh, that's an awful lot of damage. Quick Claw and hope for the best. Oh, this could be a nasty Red fight, you know. Especially if he keeps charming. Let's go to the side. You never know, that might change our luck. Or we just get paralysed by thunder instead. Our luck did change. It just got worse. There we go, we're through the Pikachu again. We won't be running a slow physical attacker next time, thank goodness. We've crit the Espeon. We have crit the Espeon. Please poison this thing. Please just poison or don't paralyse. Double Amnesia, what are you playing at, Red? What the friggin' hell are you playing at? I'm not complaining, but what are you playing at? Solar Beam can tank one of those. On to the Zard. We should be able to tank 2 flamethrowers. Even with a sunny day, no we can't. Bloody hell. Back to square one. Oh, we got so lucky there. I think we might need to Ice Punch that Venusaur, you know. That might be the only way to get through the Venusaur. We could have body slammed it as well, actually, couldn't we? I think we go for body slam on this thing. Try and paralyze. Quick Claw paralysis might be the play. Let us try that. Let's move body slam into slot 1. We have body slam for a reason. It's there to help us out in a pinch. Oh, it doesn't one-shot Pikachu. Bloody hell. I'm going to change tact again. I am going to go for the leftovers and try and play for status conditions. I think that might be the best way to see us through this battle. Because we can tank a few hits here and there. Although if we get hit by a double Psychic, then we do have to take a reset. If we can freeze the Snorlax, there's a chance that we'll be able to regain a lot of health here. Through the Pikachu once more, we'll body slam this Espeon, try and play for a paralysis here. Didn't happen, so we take a reset. I really hate having to do the Charm Dodge. It wastes so much time. The fact that we can only get an attack off 1 in every 4 attempts is so annoying. And there's not much we can do. And Pikachu just keeps hitting Charm no matter what we do. There we go, Charm has failed. We're in with a chance. Through the Pikachu on to the Espeon. We'll use Body Slam. I feel like it's lost its ability to paralyse. And once again I decided to shut off my microphone and just focus on getting through this battle. And for the second challenge in a row, I really should have just persevered another minute or two, because we got the luck we needed. It was a really, really rotten and busted red fight, but everything kind of aligned all together for us to get the luck that we needed. We got the freeze off on the Snorlax, and that meant that we could start regaining a lot of health. I just spammed Body Slam until it defrosted. He then went for his Amnesia, and we finished it off with a Sludge Bomb. He brought out Venusaur next, and he decided to go straight for taking in Sunlight. That is the best possible outcome for the Venusaur, because we can tank a Solar Beam very easily. It means the sun isn't up for the Zard. The Zard has a horrible time of it here. Crit into Paralysis. We can finish it off with a Sludge Bomb. That just left Blastoise left to go. We get very lucky here, poisoning it. We tank the Surf, and we knock it out. I think we have done it. We are through red in 108.35. Let us now take a look at the leaderboard for this challenge. And so, at the end of the 4 moves run, we ended up in 6th place. Just a few seconds behind Tentacruel there, and about 25 seconds ahead of Octillery. We have now pushed Houndoom on to page 2. We've got a new leader there on page 2. And we are getting oh so close to already doing 25 4 moves videos. Tauros had better watch out, by the way. He is next in the page 1 drop zone. If we now take a look at the overall leaderboard for all the Crystal challenges, 17th place is very, very good. 13 seconds behind Tentacruel's 4 moves challenge and just ahead of Absol. No shame in being on page 2, especially with a slow physical attacker such as MUK. I'm happy with the outcome of that one. I think we got a little bit of luck in our favour, and it all turned out well in the end. I really hope you've enjoyed this one though. If you have, make sure to leave a like. If you've got any feedback, leave it in the comments down below. Subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this. And before I do the rest of my outro, look at that. We have improved so much over our initial MUK time. 174th over on to page 2. We really cannot complain at that. I will now say thank you all so much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure as always, and I'll catch you all very, very soon.